Today we'll be cooking a quick pizza. You will need some self-raising flour. It should be white flour. Wholemeal just doesn't come out very well. A tin of tomatoes. There's no need for it to be chopped. Whole tomatoes is fine. Mozzarella cheese. If you can get the real mozzarella cheese, that's great, but you can use the stuff that you get in supermarkets if you like. And Parmesan cheese, make sure it's real Parmesan cheese, not the stuff in a can. Make sure you have fresh basil leaves. You don't want to just use dried basil. And thin salami slices, as spicy as you like. Also good to have some sort of big knife. Turn your pan onto medium and add some oil to the pan. Next we're going to make the base for the pizza. It doesn't take long to make the base, and the results are so much better than buying a pre-made base. You want to measure out half a cup of self-raising flour. This would be enough for one person. You could share it between two. You could make another pizza. You might decide to double these numbers to make a larger pizza. You also want to put a bit of extra flour aside. So you don't want to have to reach and get the flour container while your hands are dirty with the flour. So it's nice just to have a little pile there. You can add in if you need it. Make a little well inside of the flour. This is to contain the water and the oil and things you're going to add. Put some salt in there. May as well make it some nice salt. Nice salt will last you a long time and it doesn't cost very much. Add some olive oil and then slowly mix in the water, just a bit at a time so that it doesn't go everywhere. Just slowly mix it all together and eventually you'll have all of the flour mixed in with the water. There's no hurry with this, and it's going to get a little bit messy on your fingers for a bit. You can always add in some flour from the reserves that you've put aside if you find that it's too sticky. If it's too tough, then just add a little bit more water, just a little splash, and then just keep mixing. You should eventually wind up with basically a ball of dough. Knead it together. Sort of push it down. Hold it as a ball. Grab it together and then push it down. It's an action you'll get used to after a bit of time. And if you're finding it's too sticky at that point, just add some more flour. Too tough, just add some water. So keep scrunching it up and then squashing it down. Sort of pushing forward with your hand at the same time. Once it feels ready, roll it out with a rolling pin. You might use a wine bottle or any other bottle, and it should be floury enough that it's not going to stick. So if you're finding it is sticking to the table, just add some extra flour, just sprinkle it on the bottom. Keep rolling it out until it's well, whatever size you like. But if you're using a small pan like I am for a single pizza, don't feel like it needs to be only as big as the base. It's perfectly fine for the sides to go up the side of the frying pan. In fact, that gives a pretty good result. You want it to be fairly thin because this is a quick pizza. We don't want to have a doughy middle that's not going to be cooked through. As well, a real pizza tends to be, well, not so much a real pizza, but a traditional pizza, I suppose, tends to be nice and thin. And it's going to help you get a nice crispy base. Just swish the frying pan around a little bit if the oil is collected in one spot, and then just put the pizza base into the pan. It's okay for the pizza to ride up the sides. Now get your blender. We're going to be putting in a whole can of tomatoes. Now this is going to create a lot more than the amount we need for one small pizza. This should make about 6 or 8 pizzas for you. It also makes a good pasta sauce, so you can keep this in the fridge for a long time, and it's not practical to blend small amounts. So we're going to put in a whole can of tomatoes, some nice salt, some garlic cloves, 2 garlic cloves. Now you might just get some garlic, peel it, chop it up into smaller bits and put it in. It's a bit of a pain though. It's really worth getting a garlic press. A garlic press is just going to mince the garlic straight away for you. In fact, the great thing about the garlic press is you don't need to take the skin off of the garlic before you put it in the garlic press. So you can just put the garlic in, press it, and you're done. If you do buy a garlic press, get one that has as few moving parts as possible. We'll put in some basil leaves, about 10 basil leaves. You want this from a fresh bunch, and if you're going to buy a bunch, you may as well buy a basil plant. It doesn't cost much more, and it means you'll have some basil for next time. Also, 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. And we'll add in a bit of olive oil. Blend all of that and let it blend until it's nice and smooth. With a spoon or a ladle or anything, just spoon some of it onto the pizza and just distribute it around a little bit. You don't want to put too much on. You're not trying to go for a big thick soup of the stuff. You just want a little bit of a coating. Be quite rustic with it. There's no need to get an even cover. Turn on the griller and then get your mozzarella cheese. Just tear off some pieces and put it on the pizza. It's nice if you can get the real traditional mozzarella. This is buffalo mozzarella that I'm using, but if you can't find that, then just the mozzarella cheese you can get from the supermarket is perfectly fine. Get your salami slices, tear them in half, again just to make it a bit rustic and so you don't get big slabs of salami, and just sort of twist them up and press them into the pizza slightly. While all this is happening, your hot plate is giving your pizza a nice crispy base. Get some Parmesan cheese, sprinkle that on top. Don't use the canned stuff, get real Parmesan cheese, and ideally you want something that's quite strong because you don't want to cover this in Parmesan cheese like you would cheddar cheese or something. You just want to put on enough that you get a nice crispy top and you get lots of flavour. A good grate is a good investment as well. And then sprinkle some fennel seeds over the top. You don't have to use these ingredients. You might put olives on, you might put anchovies on. You can really put anything on your pizza that you like. Put that under the griller. Ideally you want a pan that has a metal handle so that you can just chuck that pan into the oven whenever you need to. But if you don't have a handle that can handle heat, then transfer it to a pan first. Watch out for hot handles if you are putting the whole pan into an oven or under a griller. This is a convenient time to be cleaning up. We've got a few minutes here, so may as well clean up now. Or if you're making more than one pizza, now's a good time to start rolling out the base for the new pizza and starting that process again. We've got plenty of the tomato base which we made, so pour that into a jar, or I'm pouring it into a bottle here for next time you make a pizza. Just remember, when you make the pizza using the pre-made sauce, you still need to give that pizza enough time sitting on that hot plate to crisp up the bottom of the pizza. If you save that time, then you're not going to get a nice crisp pizza base. So give it a little time on the hot plate that you would normally use to make the sauce. This sauce actually makes a great pasta sauce as well. You can just boil up some pasta, add this sauce, grate some Parmesan cheese over the top, and that's a pretty tasty meal in itself. We've still got some time to clean up, but check the pizza every now and then. You want to have the pizza when the top is golden and the crust is crisp. It'll get golden and crisp fairly quickly at some point, so remember to check it every couple of minutes. You can present the pizza on a chopping board, which is good because it won't be too cold for the base of the pizza, or you can put it on a plate, but you want the plate to be warmed up a little bit, so put it on top of the oven or perhaps in the oven for a bit just to warm it up so it doesn't cool the pizza down too quickly. You need a nice big knife for chopping it, or perhaps a pizza cutter, and I like to cut it in 4 pieces, but whatever works. Once the pizza is ready, it should slide out of the pan, but it might need a little bit of help. You should have a nice crisp base, so it should slide out well. Slice it up, and that's everything. If you've got any suggestions for making this pizza recipe better, put them in the notes or the comments section. I'd love to hear about them, and let me know how it goes for you.